PTG, Proxy Table Gaming. I'm Hyper G. He's Lucky Sixes.
Yo, fam.
How you doing?
I'm good, cuz.
Let's do this.
Yes,
Battle
bruv.
report. Team event. I'm vampires. He's warriors. He's Nick Vore.
Yeah, not me.
No, you're not.
We subbed.
My opponent. Yeah, I've got a bit far. I've lost my rhythm because I've gone too quick, too much to the point, and
Right.
less detail.
Hey, this is succinct.
Yeah.
In a team's tournament, we do a spot. This is him. This is Hyper G playing, not me. I'm just a spectator. Deal with it.
So yeah, round 3. I take up the Vampire Covenant. My opponent is Nick Vore. Hope I'm saying his name right. We're against a team called. What's the team called?
I don't know, but we're currently
Team Vaguely Serious.
Team Vaguely Serious. We're currently this third round. We got a decent win and a big loss as a team, and that was very similar of our own personal performance actually.
Well, speak for yourself.
A decent win for you and a big loss for me.
Yeah.
So some could say we're sympathetic of the team's performance.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, Team Vaguely Serious is Jeff Keeling. Geo, that's your one.
Yeah. So already.
Yeah. Nick Vore, who fortunately I was against, so we didn't have to go against our mortal enemies. But they only just found out there are mortal enemies, by the way.
Yeah.
And Jack Austin, I don't know who he is. Yeah, so
Ninja.
Absolutely, yeah. So Team Vaguely Serious, that is them. In terms of matchups, I think this one we decided, or you decided, because you were doing all the decisions for us, that against Warriors was another Amber matchup, actually. So this is our third Amber in a row. So let's have a little look at the... it's counter thrust and hold the center. Pretty standard, so happy enough with that. This is the Vampire Covenant list. Probably go through it quickly for those who are jumping in now. Why are you jumping in now at round 3? Yeah, 2 Vampire Courtiers, 1 on a Court of the Damned, 1 on a Skeletal Steed. I haven't made new recruit pretty, so it's not squished, whatever. So that's my bad. He hasn't told me how to do it. Nasty man. Yeah. The Vampire Courtier on the horse is actually got a lot of work to do after his nightmare performance in the last round.
Both of them really. Oh, the Courtier did all right. It killed 2 characters, to be fair.
Yeah.
On the court, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ghouls, 2 units of zombies, 2 bat swarms, Dark Coach, who kind of whiffed in the end.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Yeah, glad you said that. And 2 big units of Vampire Knights, who, out of the 2 battles we've had, 3 of the 4 units, if you double up the battle number, have had a bit of a mare. So, considering this list is built around Vampire Knights, they need to put their ideas up as well, really, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. And going into the Amber opponent Nick's list, Exalted Herald, you'll be pleased to see. You like a bit of EH, don't you? The Chosen Lord, which is on a Chimera who can't fly. Trophy Rack, obviously. Shield, Hellforged Armor, Thrice Forged. Love saying that. Thrice.
Thrice.
Yeah. Halberd, Blessed Inscriptions, Talisman of Shielding, Dragonfire Gem, Lust, and Luck of the Dark Gods. This guy's pretty tough.
And that was those 2 in particular, because they're both pretty good and they're both flying, or can be,
no,
at least.
The Lord doesn't fly, but can.
Chimera. Oh, it is.
Right.
Well, because they're very mobile, then. Was the reason for the Amber. Yeah, those 2 characters alone make it pretty tough because we've got not much range.
No, I'll tell you how much of a sigh of relief did I have when I saw the Chimera wasn't flying.
Yeah.
But still. 2 units of Lust Warriors with paired weapons in core with 2 units of Fallen. Very much your sort of chaff, but Warriors aren't really ever chaff. So, 2 units of Feldra. He's gone for the Terry tactic and just had 2 units of everything.
2 of everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it? I want 2.
It fits nicely. It really fits nicely. So, yeah.
There's a male unit and a female unit.
Oh, nice way of
The
putting it.
warriors
Nice way of
go
putting
in
it.
2 by 2. Hurrah! Hurrah!
Please stop. Okay. I worked out that I've played against Nick Vore once before, or we worked out.
Oh,
We played in the doubles tournament
doubles
a
tournament.
little
Yeah.
while ago. Yeah, a little while ago.
Oh, it was a good
When
tournament, wasn't it? I like that
it
tournament.
was, yeah. Never reported on it,
We
but
didn't.
you know, no,
It's the only one I've
we
ever
didn't.
won, and I've reported it. What the hell am I doing?
No, this was the second doubles tournament. You didn't win the second one, did you? It was the second doubles tournament that I played in that I played against Nick. You and Matty won the first one, didn't you?
What was the second one?
The second one was in Milton Keynes.
Oh no, then.
Or were they both in Milton Keynes?
Anyway, off topic. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Succinct.
Yeah, but worked out I played in the doubles tournament against Nick. So we had met previously, but neither of us could really remember the battle it happened in. So we just moved on. Cool. This is deployment. Obviously, we're still in UB at this time. So I'll start with mine. I've got the Stalker standard unit of vampires in the ruins. I think I dropped the second turn. In fact, I know I did. And as soon as he started deploying his Feldrak Elder and Chosen Lord on the left-hand side, I was like, oh, I haven't angled. He's got first turn. He's going to be in my flank. I was like, gutted straight from the off. But once you've dropped and you drop for second turn, you've got to stick with it. There's nothing you can do. I've made that mistake right off the bat. Got the bats and the zombies, got the ghouls in the middle with another unit of zombies there. It's counter thrust, so we kind of had to be away from one another a little bit. Another unit of bats who are currently out of the Necromancer's reach, actually. And then you got your Vampire Knights and the Dark Coach on the right-hand side. I was also a bit annoyed that the Dark Coach having with second turn, because he put the Fallen unit there, I couldn't get the Dark Coach on the hill, which is really annoying for zonal purposes, because he isn't really zoning at all when he's looking at a hill. And with him having first turn, if he moves up aggressively, I can't even get on that hill without it being a
good play.
problem.
Good play then.
So, yeah, so I'm not liking my deployment. It looks pretty, but there's some major issues there with what I've ended up getting. And I guess that's the problem you get from having to drop 3 units counter thrust and then dropping for second, that you're kind of restricted in where you can put things. But anyway, going from the top of his, like I say, you got the Feldrak Elder, then the Chosen Lord, unit of Fallen, Lust Warriors, Feldrak, Lust Warriors, Feldraks. Then you've got the EH, Exalted Herald, you've got Fallen, and then maybe or maybe not underneath us.
Yeah,
here's another unit of Feldrak Elder.
He is. Surprise!
Yeah, so that's obviously the issue with the Dark Coach being behind the hill. If it was just a unit of Fallen and an EH, I think I'd be able to cover it. But there's that. And so, yeah, absolutely, he moves up exactly as I suggest. I guess I mention it purely because he does this. He's round the flank with both his Elder on the left and his Chosen Lord. Nightmare right from the off. And the Feldrak Elder and the EH both threatening that hill. If I go onto it, I'm risking, basically. And as you know, without the impact hits of the Dark Coach, it is really a little bit muted, isn't it? And those Fallen move forward to bait the charge, really, to get me into no man's land. In the middle, they're all the same units, just interspersed. They just move up to threaten, and that's cool. I mean, he hasn't. Yeah, the center is looking a lot weaker than the flanks on his side. So I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking, okay, I've got myself into a bit of a bind on the flanks. Maybe I just rush the center. But there's issues with that as well. So we are playing hold the center, so it is all about the center as well. But he's got a lot of scoring units there. All 4 of those are scoring units. So into my turn, I immediately chaff the Chosen Lord because he can't fly on the Chimera.
Yes.
Because the Necro was in range of those bats, so they could march. So I know I've got a bit of time. I thought about moving the Vampire Knights forward and going really aggressive with them on the left-hand side. But I decided to hang back just because I wanted the Chosen Lord to be busy for a while. And I felt that if I went straight forward, the Elder would have a decent flank charge on me.
Sure.
And the Warrior Lust can still deal some hurt if I don't charge. So plus the Feldrax are still there. So I decided to hang back for now. My Necro decided to move to target the Gribblies on the left with Evocation Magic. And my Ghouls, I kind of feel like I've got a bit of time to threaten the centre with them. And on the right, I don't take the bait of the Fallen, basically, and I just move the Dark Coach round to try and outflank his flanking manoeuvre and trying to sort of go round the hill, but take my time with that. Magic-wise, I only get a single wound through on the Exalted Herald on the left. I think I basically cast Haste on the Hour and then followed up with Touch of the Reaper, which he dispelled.
Oh, on the Feldrak Elder?
On the Feldrak Elder on the left, yeah. I think basically my plan was try to chaff the Chosen Lord forever and kill the Elder. That was my plan.
Yeah, solid.
He goes for it. I wasn't expecting this, really. I mean, the charges are there. I could only move those Vampire Knights back a certain amount on the right. And it does fly, obviously, so he's pretty quick. And I had actually moved my Ghouls forward into that charge range. I think he only needs like a 7 or an 8.
Out of interest, why didn't you man the wall? Or are you?
I'm not. Or at least I wasn't intending to be. Don't know. I think maybe I just didn't expect him to charge into my Ghoul unit. I know Feldrax are good and everyone's taking them. But I didn't think he'd want to take on my Ghouls alone.
No, it's... interesting.
I made sure that the warrior.
Well,
I made sure they were not in my flank.
Yeah.
So they are all in the front, and I wasn't really bothered about both in the front because you're limiting your amount of attacks. But he has got armor, and Ghouls aren't great at dealing with armor.
Yeah.
So
and res 5.
Yeah.
As opposed to strength 3. So.
Poison. So. But yeah. So I wasn't expecting those charges really. I didn't think he'd go that aggressive to begin with. As it happens, didn't matter because they both failed.
Oh, there we go.
So there was that, and that meant that he kind of had to follow up on his aggressiveness by moving everything else forward and getting into my face, because otherwise he would have had units like just flapping in the wind. And this is pretty aggressive. He's surrounding me really.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't charge the Chosen Lord into the Chaffing Bats, which I was delighted by because I've still got a Chaffing Bat unit.
Still chaffing me.
He just goes round and goes into the ruins. I mean, there's a temptation there to charge him with the Knights and see if the Knights can actually deal with it. Strength 7 on the charge, you know. But he has got a 4-up Aegis.
Yeah.
So that takes half your attacks away right there. So we'll see if I get risky or not. He has actually used the Chosen Lord to chaff the Knight charge on the Elder.
Yeah, he wants it. Yeah, for sure.
So he wouldn't mind if I charge it. I'm also in the front of the Chosen Lord, so there is that. Yeah, he moves the warriors, the Lust warriors on the left up. They were obviously never intent on going for the Ghouls. I think they're trying to go out and kill the Necromancer, if I'm honest. As is the Elder, who basically just moves his full whack into the middle, knowing the Knights are busy. The Feldrak and the warriors in the middle move up to hold the line. The EH, as you can see, hasn't been able to move very far because of the failed charge. And the Fallen just go and stand in front of my other Knights on that side, while the Elder hides from the Dark Coach behind the hill. He's very much got the hill in his palm, really, while my Dark Coach just chills. Yeah. The only thing I will say about the placement of his Elder is now my Dark Coach can actually be where it wants to be 2 turns ago. And get on the hill without really having too much of a threat. I know the EH can charge the Dark Coach, but I don't mind that matchup too much.
Yeah, it's only 6 attacks. Obviously, offensive. 5.
Yeah.
The offensive and defensive is like 9 or something, but yeah.
Yeah, but I've got a 4-up Aegis against him, so I think I could grind out the EH. Obviously, magic comes into it, but with my Vampire on the Vampire Knight being right there, I can do an Arise or all sorts of extra stuff. To help him out. So I think this was definitely one where I've got a few Arises in my arsenal because I've already grown a unit of zombies as well.
Yeah.
So. Cool. What we got here, he gets a spell on the EH. Is that, I think it's a breath weapon. The breath weapon. Yeah. This is the toxic breath weapon.
Sure. Yeah.
Breath of corruption. Yes. I've got it placed on the Vampire Knights as well. I'm not sure whether that means he used that and then didn't do any wounds. But at the same time, I'm wondering.
It would make sense for him to, if that's Breath of Corruption, he's definitely targeting them.
No. It's not Breath of Corruption, is it? It's not. It's the one that reduces your offensive skill by 1 permanently. I think. Annoyed. Can't remember the name of that one. We'll find out. It's not the breath. It doesn't do any wounds to me anyway, so it's not. I don't think he could have used the breath weapon actually because he charged. Can't do a shooting attack on the turn you charge, can you?
Sure.
So, anyway. Yeah, I go counter-aggressive with aggressive. Basically, I figure that I didn't mind the idea of the Feldrax charging me, so I'm going to charge them, and he fled.
Yeah.
He didn't fancy that off the charge. And I guess that makes sense because I'm in his grill rather than him in my grill.
Sure, yeah.
So he fled. And I decided to redirect into the other Feldrax because that wasn't a very far charge at all. Well, it is. It's still, in movement 4 ghouls, it's still a fair way. But it was possible.
Yeah.
So I go for that. I don't declare the charge with the Vampire Knights into his Chosen Lord because I'm not stupid. I fail with the ghouls.
And you don't go into the Fallen either?
No, I don't go into the Fallen either because I do not want to open the door to his EH and his Feldrak Elder. Obviously, the EH can fly, but the Feldrak Elder, I'm using the Fallen as a blocker.
Yeah.
For that. I also move in my turn, so I move the bats on the right, who are kind of having to act on their own steam because my Necro isn't able to make them march, so they're only movement 6 or whatever. Yeah. I move them so that he can't charge the flank of my zombies with his Feldrak Elder and bounce through into the middle. So they're blocking that charge into the flank of the zombies. The zombies are very much moving up as bait for his middle units so that I can get the ghouls in properly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also stopping the Feldrax getting into the ghouls, the ones on the right, that is.
He
does rally in the middle.
Can his warriors see your ghouls on the left?
Can his warriors? No, they cannot.
That was good then.
Oh no, maybe they can. Can't remember because I charged, didn't I? And failed. So I'll pass on that one.
Okay.
Don't know.
Hold fire.
Yes, indeed. So I moved my bats on the left in front of his Chosen Lord again. Because he didn't kill them, so I'm going to do it again. And if he does that for 6 turns, I am delighted.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah. I moved my zombie unit to Chaffee's Elder and moved my Necro on his own.
It's risky, but he hasn't got any shooting either.
No, exactly. So, yeah. So, fingers crossed that'll be all right. And my Dark Coach kind of wimps out at going onto the hill, taking on the EH. I kind of decided that I've moved the Vampire Knights on the right backwards. So now the fight is behind the hill rather than over the hill.
Yeah.
So I keep the Dark Coach safe for the moment.
In reserve.
There, exactly, yeah. So it's not really being used as a zonal chariot in this one. It's more of to help the Knights out. And he can't really move full throttle into the middle until he's dealt with those Knights and that chariot.
Yeah.
So. Right. Wow. Okay. I get Spectral Blades on the ghouls, so that helps because they're in the middle of everything.
Nice.
I don't think it was the boosted version based on the fact of what else I cast.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just the rerolls to wound. And I get Hasten the Hour and Touch of the Reaper off on the Feldrak Elder, but Touch of the Reaper only does 1 wound.
Yeah. Still.
Gutted. I mean, it's got 6, isn't it? So I couldn't have killed it.
Every little one helps with them.
Massively, yeah. So I mean, I was delighted to get all 3 spells off. I think Nick had a bit of a nightmare with his dispelling. But it's kind of one of those roller coasters where you get the spell off and you're really delighted, and then you just 1 wound. But it could have been worse. Could have been 0. So
exactly.
Yeah. There's that magic wise. Oh dear Lord. Get the red pen out.
Yeah. Charge.
So
then, right?
Right, yeah. This is turn 3, I think. And this took a while, I'll be honest. This took a while for Nick to figure out. And I guess looking at this picture, I can see why.
Mm.
But yeah, there were. Is it 7 charges or is it more than that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charges. I mean, Ed, who was it? Ed who ran the tournament? No, he ran the Scottish. He ran the Scottish Championship.
Sure.
But Ed in his Scottish Championship had competitions for like declare the most charges or being the most combats. Most units in combat, I think was the one he did actually. But this would have definitely won for declare the most charges in a turn, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So eight charges. So right, let's go through it. We have got the Chosen Lord into the bats finally. Wow. We've got the Fallen going into the flank of the bats as well, because he wants to then use them to chaff the knights afterwards. Got the Elder going into the zombies. Fine. His warrior knights, maybe they couldn't see the ghouls, but either way, they chose to go into the flank of the zombies as well to mush them up, and that's fair enough. His warrior lust and his Feldrax went into the zombies as well, so he's taking the bait, which is good. I'm happy with that. It looks like I'm 1-0 up on the objective as well at the end of turn 2. So I've got scoring units.
Sure, you would have.
This is top of 3.
Yeah,
so
he went first, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Zombies for the win.
So yeah, exactly. He puts his EH again, charging the Vampire Knights over the top of the Fallen, and the Elder charges the bats to get rid of them. Whew! Blimey. Most gets in, but the EH doesn't.
Again.
Still fails, and is literally just stumbling forward, which is great. The other one that fails was the Fallen on the left into the flank of the bats, which means he can't now chaff my knights. And my knights potentially could be free, depending on what he does with his Chosen Lord after killing the bats. So that one was really not sure what he was going to do about that, because depending on how the zombie thing went, how it concluded, my knights were ready to counter whatever was there. It was all a debate as to what he would lead them.
Yeah, sure.
Everything else got in, I think. I don't think there was any others. The Fallen move up to chaff my knights again. And that's that. His Veldrax at the top just sort of stayed there. Not really sure why they stayed out of the battle. Maybe they were thinking of moving in later. But anyway.
Yeah.
Combat-wise, he killed the bats with the Elder. No problem at all. Yeah. Oh, he's losing Fallen on that unit on the right because he's sacrificing them to get his occultism spells off, by the way.
Sure, yeah. So that makes it -2, does it?
No.
What is this spell?
Yeah, let's have a look at what this spell is, because he's got it on the ghouls as well now.
And twice on him.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's twice on him, though. But it's occultism, isn't it? So, occultism 3, the rot within. The target suffers -1 offensive and defensive skill. Oh, and the caster gains +1 offensive and defensive.
Right, there we go.
When he sacrifices. So yeah, it makes sense now that it's on everyone. So yeah, the ghouls are now offensive and defensive too. The knights are down by 1, and his EH is up to super levels.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter if he can't charge though.
Yeah. His wings don't work.
Exactly, yeah. The zombies in the middle die to the Feldrax and the Lust Warriors, but I think only the Lust Warriors overran into the.
Even if the Feldrax did, I don't think they would have got in. So.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, they would have gone past. You're right.
Looking at that.
So yeah, my ghouls get a free combat basically, and I think Nick was quite pleased that his warriors overran into the ghouls. But on the other hand, I was actually really pleased as well.
So, is that because it's now going to be on your turn and you haven't got choice? Yeah. Basically, he's dictating.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. Yeah. It does mean, of course, my ghouls can't charge in my turn.
That's what I mean. So,
yeah. That's what you're saying. Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Over here, the zombie unit goes pop, as you would expect, totally. And yeah, he actually overruns with his Chosen Lord into the zombies to get another combat round with that, which makes a lot of sense. He moved his Elder and his Chosen Lord as follows. He knows from turn 2 that I didn't charge with my knights on his Chosen Lord.
Yeah,
so he's kind of thinking I probably won't charge again.
Sure.
And also he hasn't got a lot of maneuverability because he's combat reforming. So the Elder didn't have a lot of choice as to where it was going to end up. So he's left me this in the end. Again, this took a bit of rotation, but it ended up with this. The Lust Warriors move around to get the back of the ghouls. And obviously, if my ghouls don't deal with that warrior unit, I've now got 2 warrior units on either side of me.
And Feldrax.
Yeah, so that's not ideal. So into my turn 3, I took the charge with the warrior knights on the left. I figure I can't have the whole battle with them doing nothing. And either the Chosen Lord charges me and I die, or I charge him and maximise my chance of not dying.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, it's basically that, isn't it? When you think about it. So I go for it with that charge. I also declare a charge with my Vampire Knights and my Dark Coach on the Fallen to get rid of them. I figure now is the time to get in there and try and take on the EH.
Absolutely, you can do this.
And the Elder. Because the Feldrax and the Warriors are all now busy with my ghouls in the middle. And also, I'm all out of chaff. I've lost both my bats. I've lost both my zombies. I've just got no units left now. I need to get on with it. I need to fight. Get in like so with the Knights, which is awesome. And I follow up with the Spectral Blades on the Vampire Knights. And another Touch of the Reaper.
Here we go.
Only 1 wound on the Elder. Gutted again.
Yeah, that could have been it. But still.
That could have been it, yeah. And no, I won't say about that. I was going to say something, but I won't say about this. Yes, let's just bemoan the Touch of the Reaper. But no, it's fine. Cool. So, I kill the Fallen on the right with my units and reform. I think I just pivot. I don't overrun in any way with them. I just get ready for the counter charge. But this is something weird on the left. How did this end up happening? Got a feeling something weird happened. But because I've gained back a knight. No, what is it?
No, you just moved.
No, here we go. This is it, I think. I lost a knight. Actually, let's talk about the main event. Okay. I killed the Chosen Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the main news.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That is awesome.
That's actually the main news.
For 1 in return as well.
Sorry? For 1 in return. Yeah, exactly.
Ouch.
That is a fact. Whatever happened here, which is a bit odd. I think I lost a knight, but then I vampiricked him back.
Okay.
But when does the vampiric happen? Does it happen after the overrun or before the overrun?
I don't know, but if you go back one,
because that might be
let's say
what's
you lost
happened,
2 wounds,
if I lost one knight,
could you theoretically? This is a question I don't know the answer to. If you lose the one on the left, could you theoretically then vampiric him back on the right? Because if you can do that, then you can just, it looks like, go past.
Yeah, I only need to lose 1 knight.
You lose the guy on the left, which enables you to is what you're saying here. Which enables you to get into the warriors rather than the Feldrak Elder. So the question is whether the vampiric would allow you to pop him on the right when you grow him back.
Yeah.
Because technically, you're still adding him to the front rank, which would then enable you to move forward, turn, and then swivel back into
as much as I can. Yeah, exactly.
I believe.
So as far as we're aware, if that's how vampiric works and everything, I'm okay. The other thing to say with this is that we worked it out like this anyway.
Yep.
But I actually wanted to charge into the Elder.
Oh, okay.
But because I'd lost that knight on the left, I couldn't overrun into him when we were doing it. And so
I'm sure vampiric would happen before the overrun. I'm pretty sure
I do as well. Yeah. But this is how it ended up anyway.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually really kicking myself because my necromancer did not need to be standing there, did he?
Yeah.
He had 18 inches.
I mean, to be fair,
you're
gonna trade a Chimera Lord
absolutely.
for a Necromancer.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, exactly. But I didn't need to have him standing there, did I? And yeah, but it's awesome. I killed the Chosen Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think I ran him down, actually, if I'm honest.
But still, to get to that point. So you got charge and a banner versus he's a 2 wounds.
Yeah.
And then you've done 2 or 3 wounds to make him minus.
Yeah, I mean, I had Spectral Blades on, so I was re-rolling my wounds.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
AP 4 as well, so he's just got his Aegis.
Exactly. He just whiffed his Aegis, basically, got a few through. Very nice. Which means I'm into the warriors. And also the ghouls, give them some credit, have slain all but one of the warriors.
Yeah, man.
There's one warrior running away, just under that yellow cross. But yeah, great. Obviously, we're going to get some counter charging on the right-hand side after I've killed the Fallen. But yeah, delighted with that turn.
Yeah, very decent.
And the charges happen again.
Charge!
Oh, man, Nick does like a charge. Turn 4. So we've got the EH charging for the 3rd time into the Vampire Knights. And the Herald, the Feldrak Elder also charges the Knights. They're ignoring the Dark Coach, basically, which is fine. The Feldraks both charge into the front of the ghouls. And the Fallen charge into the flank, interestingly. And then he goes to kill my Necromancer.
That's good. That's good. Fallen are good in flank.
Yeah.
They'll have like 15 attacks. That's close.
So this is the end of the charges. Gets into the Necromancer. Only 1 unit of Fallen makes it into the ghouls, which is good for me, at least.
Feldraks.
What did I say?
Fallen. The 1 unit did. It is true.
Yes, 1 unit of Fallen did get in, and 1 unit of Feldraks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is that. So yeah, now my ghouls need to step up and do some work.
Yeah, man.
And they haven't got Spectral Blades off, so it's not ideal. And yeah, the EH finally gets in. And he casts the Breath Weapon on his EH as well.
Yeah.
So he's got Toxic Breath Weapon. Is it Toxic on?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. So that's not fantastic. What else we got? Yeah, this was the combat. There was something about Nick didn't use his breath weapon here. I can't remember whether he was in a duel. I have a champion and I have a courtier.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I challenged with the champion. And he decided not to use his breath weapon because he wanted to save it for the courtier.
Yeah, wanted to kill
in the turn afterwards.
Sure.
And then the EH whiffed and didn't kill the champion. At which point he kind of wished he'd used the breath weapon.
Yeah.
Because now he's still in a duel with my champion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can see why. You can see why you would do that.
Total logic. It's just a shame that the EH didn't.
But the combat res alone would make him crumble and struggle.
Yeah. So. Yeah. If he kills enough to do it. I mean, my knights get 2 wounds on the Feldrak Elder.
Very decent.
And I only lose. I think I've lost 4 wounds overall. 3 on the knights and 1 on the champion.
Yeah, that's insane.
So it's great. I mean, they held their own. I guess what the Feldrak Elder did most of the work. The EH whiffed in the challenge. So
I mean, 3 wounds.
I guess he's only strength 2 AP, strength 5 AP 2, isn't he? The Exalted Herald. So with a 1-up save, I'm still 3 up against that. And I just saved well.
Yeah, that's why it's strange to not use the breath weapon.
Yeah.
I understand it, but
I do too. Yeah, but no, that's awesome. And now obviously I've got a Dark Coach on the flank potentially.
Yeah.
But the EH is in a duel. Bear that in mind. So cool. Well, ghoul combat. A bit of carnage, really. I lose a heck of a lot of ghouls, but I do some decent wounds to the. For some reason, he's got 2 warriors in that unit. What's going on? Oh no, okay. So yeah, let's talk about the ghoul combat. I do a decent amount of wounds to the Feldraks. Kill 1 Fallen on the flank. I think it's like 5 wounds to the Feldraks. There's 5 skulls. Not quite sure. whether they're all related.
Have you done something to a champion in a challenge?
Yeah, it could well be the courtier and the champion. Yeah, is in a challenge. You're right. But I've lost a lot of ghouls, and I think this is after crumbling because they don't kill that many on their own. And my knights absolutely wiped the floor with the warriors in the.
I don't think it would be a surprise if they killed that on their own, though.
No.
15 attacks from the fallen. 4, 6, 12. I want to say 15 attacks from the Feldrak Elders plus stomps. So you got 30 attacks. Probably going to be higher offensive skill and wounded and killing on 2s.
Yeah. No, you could be right.
Wouldn't it be surprised if you lost 15 to 20?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Sure. Yeah, I can't remember whether it's before or after crumble, to be honest. My knights do kill the warrior in the rear though, and they run all the way through the combat.
Yeah.
And 2 of them make it out into the forest. So he has rallied the single warrior though, so he's kind of got a queue of scoring units. Quite finished off, which is a bit of a shame for the middle. But I think this is his turn. This is my turn. No, this is his
Your
turn.
Turn's coming up, yeah.
His turn 4. So we drew in turn 3. So I'm still 1-0 up for the objective. In my turn 4, I charged the Vampire Knights into the flank of his Fallen.
Yep.
In order to maximise, I can't make it so that I can overrun past my ghouls. So it's very much a temporary charge to help out just for now. But it should help out because I'll get a flank standard, a charge, kill 4 Fallen. So that's already +7 combat res to help the ghouls out. And now my ghouls are rerolling to hit because of their
because they did some wounds. So.
Yeah, and also I've got a magic. I have got a magic phase, but I haven't got a necromancer. So
just arise, baby.
Yeah. So what do I? What's this? Why is this different?
You got more much ghouls?
Have I?
No.
No.
I just love a screenshot, mate. That's all that is.
Apparently, yeah. There's nothing much different there, is there? Or is that another vampire gain back? No.
You've done an extra wound to the Feldrak Elder somehow?
Oh yeah. Okay. Is this Pentagram of Pain?
It could be Pentagram of Pain.
The bubble version.
Yeah.
It hasn't done a lot of damage.
You've done 1 to the top.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the next picture, see what happens.
I think...
Oh, blimey, that's a lot of spoilers.
Yeah. I think warrior champions, if that's the case, have 2 wounds. So...
right. Yeah. Oh, so that one guy that's fleeing in the forest is now taking a wound.
Yes. Suggest.
Yeah.
So you've done
Pentagram of Pain.
3 wounds.
It's a number 1 learned spell. But on this vampire, pretty much everything was within 12 inches of my guy. And I'd only got 2 spells to cast. So I put everything into this Pentagram of Pain. I was only going to hurt... It doesn't hurt your caster's unit. So the ghouls are fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't high AP. So my Vampire Knights, I figured, were okay.
It's unengaged, isn't it? I thought.
No.
Is it not?
No. No, it's everything. At least I played it that way. Where is Pentagram of Pain? What is it? Occultism. It's just a hex. Yeah, it's just a hex or a universal. Yeah, so... Yeah. And so, getting an extra wound on the Elder meant I was now half points on the Elder, which is awesome. And I hoped that Pentagram would actually finish off those 2 warrior units in the forest.
Not to be.
As it happened, I didn't get through their armor, but it's still something. And kind of spoiled it in terms of how it ended up after combat. But
ghouls, man.
They absolutely totally turned my way in the middle because the Vampire Knights charged in, killed the Fallen before they struck, obviously, which is amazing. The Courtier on the Court of the Damned easily dispatched the champion this time round.
Mm-hmm.
The ghouls, I think am I higher agility than Feldrax. So same time,
so maybe they're 3 and 4 on the charge.
But my courtier definitely killed his champion before the champion's drop. So there was that.
Man.
And he's now got 3 fleeing units in the forest, but none of them are dead. So, but because they're all fleeing at the end of turn 4, I go 2-0 up on the objective, which is amazing. So that has really gone nicely in the middle there. The Gauls are really holding it together. I can't really pivot very well to get decent angles for the middle, but I need to stay in the middle because it's all about making sure I get that objective. I don't want to lose it and then him draw 2-2. He's got a lot of scoring units that can just rally there in his turn 5. Because if he rallies and gets the Veldract in, he easily can get back this middle objective and draw 2-2, which would be a shame. We should talk about the right-hand side, which, in hindsight, I possibly shouldn't have charged the Dark Coach in. I possibly should have just said the Knights are going to have to deal with it on their own and get my Dark Coach around, and he could have cleared up the middle. This was the Dark Coach's chance to do something useful. What I actually did was charge the EH, and my champion did 1 wound to the EH in the duel, but died.
Got punished,
in return. And the Elder, I just couldn't hurt it. The strength 5, I wasn't hurting it. Wasn't rolling 5s to wound. So those Knights are, and now the Dark Coach are now in a bit of trouble, because I couldn't make use of the impact hits because the Herald was in the duel. So I really don't think putting the Dark Coach in there was a great idea.
It was worth it.
Really.
But you got the combat risk.
Yeah. Ironically, the Exalted Herald didn't use the breath weapon to kill the champion. Didn't need it. But so it's still there. I think actually in turn 5, Nick thought he would still have the breath weapon, but actually it only lasted a turn after you cast it, so it was gone. So there's that. Let's see, where are we going now? Yeah, it's just carnage from now on, really. So that would be at the end of his turn 5 over there. His other Feldrak Elder is now moving up to help out. It's only on 1 wound left though, so it's just
hiding.
It's getting away from Pentagram Pain, really, which is funny considering it's not really that nasty a spell, but useful when you're attacking something with only 1 wound left. He charges his Feldrax in for another go at the Gauls, and this is after combat. So my courtier is on a bit of a dual roll, really. Hasn't killed the champion, but takes 1 wound, does 2. So my courtier BSB is doing all right. I take a few Gaul losses, but not that many, really, and do 3 wounds back to him.
And you're always going to stick around, didn't you? So.
And we all stick around. And obviously now, second turn of combat, I've got rerolls to hit, and I've got a Vampire Knight unit coming in.
In the flank?
So, in the flank, I think. We'll find out for definite in a minute.
Ouchkibibble.
Yeah. So I wasn't too unhappy with that charge from the Feldrax, because that was my chance for him to come to me, rather than having to chase him down. Unfortunately for Nick, his single warrior and his 2 warriors didn't rally, which meant he couldn't win the objective in the middle. He's got 2 and I've got 2. I think actually both the single Feldrak, and the Vampire Knights were too far away from the middle. So I think we actually drew 1-1. Maybe. They look pretty similar distance.
You've got another turn yet anyway, so...
Oh, true. Yeah, I've got to my turn 5. You're right. Yeah, it wouldn't be decided yet. Good thinking. Yes, and I do charge into the flank with... it might not even been flank, actually.
Well, you've done a decent amount of wounds.
Yeah, so. I mean, my Gauls have taken a few more losses.
Yeah.
And my Vampire Knights have smashed.
You've done at least 5 wounds there, so...
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Exactly, yeah. My Knights are dying on the right-hand side, as you'd expect. But, Nick's got a whole load of fleeing, scoring units again. And my Gauls are still sitting there with a few models left. I think he's got half points at this stage, but, man, they've earned it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, he continues fleeing with a few. I think his Feldrak at the top fails to rally and runs off the board.
Oh, nice.
his single Feldrak that rallied moves down to the bottom to get away from the pentagram, I think. No, probably just to get away from the Gauls, to be fair.
Outside,
he's lost the objective now.
Yeah.
And that's a heck of a lot of skulls down the bottom.
So many skulls, man.
But the Dark Coach is holding on. That's still my unit. But the rest are all his. And
you killed the Elder? Oh, no. The other two
so.
wounds are from the hero.
Yeah. Who And this is how it finished up. The Dark Coach died to combat res after the Elder charged in on turn 6.
Yeah.
There's that Feldrak's back at the top. That's a bit weird.
No, he's been moved because the Feldrak at the bottom is gone. It's just but that's just probably at the end of the game, isn't it?
Exactly. Whatever. His warrior units did ever rally as well, so I got full points for them because they were decimated and fleeing.
Sound.
And it was glorious in the end. Quite a long battle. This one.
A lot of death.
A lot of death, which is probably why the pictures dried up a little towards the end because they were summary pictures.
And death.
Yeah. 13-7. Objective victory.
Whoop, whoop.
Which, I mean, I lost a lot of chaff. I lost half points on the Gauls.
Yeah.
I lost my one unit of Vampire Knights. I lost the Dark Coach. So I haven't actually got a lot left on the board here. Half a unit of Gauls, a Vampire Courtier, and 1 unit of Vampire Knights. That's all I've got left. So it's not surprising, actually, that it is only a objective victory. Yeah. But those Gauls fought bloody hard for that objective.
They did. Well done.
And I know the Vampire Knights helped them out significantly to turn those combats around.
Just got to stick around, don't they?
Just got to stick around, man. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the outcome. Oh, man, it was a brain melt.
Lots of charges and all that going around.
But I was so glad that in turn 3, I think it was, I decided to do the counter charges. Because I could have just been declining those charges for so long and not actually getting anywhere.
Yeah, the Chimera going down. Yeah, both of your units that are still there have done work.
Yeah, exactly.
They've done work.
Yeah, because that Vampire Knight unit that's still alive killed the Chimera Lord.
Yeah.
A unit of Warrior Lust. It charged into a flank of the Fallen, charged into a flank of the Feldrax. That's 4 units it's dealt with.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's actually taken 1 wound.
The epitome of hammer and anvil. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And those Gauls, they did a great job.
Yeah, mate, good work.
So really happy.
We end up with a win.
All right,
for the Vampires.
We're playing it like that.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. So we are on 2-1, right?
We are, yes.
Team-wise, how did we get on?
Team-wise, so that wily old fox, Jeff Keeling, may have had a slightly good 20-0 victory against Tony. We won't think on that.
Something happened.
Geo, your old enemy, won 16-4 against Josh, our Supremo.
Yeah, Empire shooty list though, man. You'd not. When it happens, it happens. It happens.
I mean, shooting against Silvernels, how dare they?
Yeah.
But never fear, Paul Godbold is here. 19-1 victory.
Green
against,
matchup king.
Against Jack to the Austin. But it does mean we go down 36-44 in the round.
Close one.
Not a capping, but a narrow defeat.
Hey, when your objective is not to come last, every point counts.
It certainly does. It really does. Yeah, it really does. I'm going to have a drink of water. Fill time.
Yeah, right. So looking good for that. We are looking at our 4th round matchup, which, wonders of new technology nowadays, and you might have seen it on our channel quite a bit. We've got Warhol, a Warhol battle coming up, which is lovely. Get to see everything in nice new graphics, although some of which are not complete. It's worth saying. But yeah, so here we go. I was very impressed with how long you can drink. Go on, you can do the. You can do the last bit. You did all that.
Sorry, I know. I did all that.
No, we're starting again. We're going to do the whole battle report again.
I'll fill it up.
For that stick.
All right. Okay. Oh man.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see you later. But it's not. We'll see. We're report. We're doing this again.
Okay.
That was pathetic.
Sorry. I didn't think I'm not really a bravado kind of guy, so I don't really do things for that reason. So I thought, no, I'm not going to do that.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Right. Well, ruined it. But yeah, we had a good one going, but that's fine. See you later.
Oh no. Yeah. No. Don't press the stop recording button.
No, I'm doing it.
Like, share, subscribe.